Hey, yo, tribe.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Disconnect, where reconnection is the dialect. I am Ivy Noin, and this is my co-host.
Jay know the Sun King
Yes,
in the
sir.
ring.
Yes, sir.
By the bing, bing,
Oh,
mink, mink.
bada boom, bada bang. Going on with it.
And then after that, I'm going to repair you up and tell you about this self-love we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Continuation. But before we go into that, let's give a shout out to the sponsors. Voila Vodka.
Yes, indeed. If you drink it, make sure you drink it responsibly.
Please do.
You know, but anyhow.
So we returning with our guest from the last episode. We have Miss Forel.
Hi, guys.
Clap it up.
Clap it up.
Yeah.
Did you want to introduce yourself to the people in case they didn't see the first episode that you was?
Okay, I am Forel. I'm an author and entrepreneur and jack of all trades and a master of a few.
Absolutely.
I like that.
So we was touching on self-love. We was talking about the process
Yeah,
of self-love.
a beautiful thing.
Beautiful process.
Right. So, I think we were going to the growth phase of it. What was it we was about getting ready to talk to about
Yeah.
before? Talked about the growth phase, the light work. I think a lot of people look at self-love. Self-love is the end result. I feel like that's the product.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And people bypass the journey, and we're in a microwave society, and people often want it like this.
Yeah.
But self-love it's a lifetime journey.
Yeah.
I believe,
It is.
You know, every time you think you've leveled up to the ultimate level, you find
There's
yourself
new levels.
there's a new level to it. You know, you find out some things about yourself that you didn't realize before.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that just recently happened to me. You know, but yeah, so that's.
Well, you said something that was so significant just now when you said that the like in the process, when people see you as a spiritual person, a spiritual being, it's no different from when you were a Christian, right? And somebody see you getting out of your character, like how we talked about with the car crash, and one would look on and say, I thought she was spiritual. Oh, I thought she was a Christian. It's like you're not allowed to be human.
But didn't Christ flip the tables over?
He flipped the tables over.
Okay.
on the dice game.
On the dice game.
Try-
He got me agreeing with him. No, that's
It was gambling.
Yeah.
Try Jesus, don't try me.
Yeah.
But
And I
people,
won't try him
but
either.
The thing is, it doesn't matter. See, because God considers your heart righteousness.
right.
So they don't know my heart.
Yeah.
They don't know my heart.
Yeah. But people will do that.
You see me
They'll do
acting
that.
out in a moment. You don't know what just happened here.
Yeah.
That's just like always in the classroom. Somebody come hit you, but you don't get. They don't get caught. You get caught hitting back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I say, shall God judge between you and I, or shall source judge between you and I? On that note,
Yeah.
you know,
I think people forget about the duality.
They do.
The point is that we all have duality
Yeah.
too. You know.
Yeah.
And so if they was able to recognize the duality, then they would clear understanding. Like, okay, that's not me. It's, you know, you may lead your life 90% this way, 80% this way, but then when something happens, that duality, you go to that 20%. You know what I mean? It's in all of us, you know. And we're so quick to judge in that matter, you know.
But that's how women end up so suppressed over all these years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's invisible. She has no voice. She's to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we end up in this boat.
And it
because
is.
we can't speak. You know, so, you know, a lot of people end up going crazy.
So let me clarify this too for the people that's in the comment section when they want to say, because they have people in the comment section, they'll come and say things like, well, women have a voice, women, you know, this, and that. What we're talking about is divine feminine. Not saying that we don't have the capabilities of speaking. What we're saying is when we're speaking our minds, sometimes we can be cast off as she is masculine or she is this is what we're talking about.
Overly emotional.
Or overly emotional.
No,
and
I'm going to operate in my emotions because that's how I free myself.
Right. But see, this is the stigma that's been placed on. So I just want to kind of clarify that because we do have the toxic femininity that's on the rise as well as the divine femininity. We got the ones that's dancing around all over the stage,
Now, I
shaking
can't
their
speak for
behind, tongue out, and stuff like that. So we have a lot of that going on that's working against us, and they're putting them as a forefront to represent all of us
But they
as
know
a whole.
better. They know better.
And they like to put labels. Oh, this is art.
Yeah, they know better.
But and then it's like, so toxic femininity is on the rise, just like the divine feminine is on the rise or whatever. And we have to know and distinguish between the two. And people have to know that we are not this. That is not what we about, because it's a time to be peaceful and it's a time to go to war. But even in divine femininity understands that as well too, like the duality of it all. But that doesn't mean I need to be acting like I'm not doing that either. I'm not doing so they don't necessarily mean that. So I just want to kind of throw that disclaimer.
And I want to add a little extra sauce onto that spaghetti that you're making. Yeah,
I'm not about to play
the fact that
keep it saucy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. People fail to realize actually. So technically, everybody operates in emotion.
Right.
They say even every logical decision
Yeah.
is based off and backed by emotion.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you may feel like, I just really want to go to movies today.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So here come the logic. It's been a while. I need to, treat myself. It's been a lot of hard, stressful day at work. That's the emotion. The emotion was I need to go to movies. How you feeling emotionally.
Yeah.
And then you back it by the logic. You still have all the reasons why you should do it.
Yeah.
So it's just not just a woman thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one thing that that's what the story of Aesop and or Jacob. I'm sorry, Jacob
Esau.
the two Esau. Yes, I'm sorry. Esau and Jacob was about the red man. One represents emotion, then one also represents logic. So
Right.
when you first come out the womb, you're emotional. When you first
Right.
come out, you're crying in the world. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you settle in. You start, okay, I'm cool. Nothing's happening to me.
Right.
Nobody's hitting me. And then the logic sets in. So every part of our life and our pattern is emotion first, then logic.
Right.
And that's how life is. Yeah, you say when you come out the womb, but there are so many cycles in our lives where we are rebirthed again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're rebirthed.
Yeah.
And that's when you got to go through these pains, and you're like it's like the worst thing that ever happened to you, and you can't believe I'm going through this, and you just want to die so you can be reborn because something greater is coming out of it on the other side.
Yeah.
And that's how life continues. That's how that's the ladder.
Right.
Right.
That's the ascension. You're going to stay there, or you're going to stay on that level, or you're going to take the next step.
Yeah.
We just keep going higher
Yeah.
and higher and
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah.
So I want to add something that just kind of hit me while we were talking. And this may be a little bit triggering for folks, so you got to fully hear me out what I'm saying on this. Coming from a male perspective, what I realized that a lot of times with women and men thinking that they just making they're making not just emotional but illogical decisions when they're emotional. But the thing is, being in a patriarchal society, a lot of time these women get to be put in these circumstances. You know what I mean? So in order to pass a test, you got to study, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you're not being charged with this position and this role to deal with such matters, you know what I mean? Your first responses are going to be kind of illogical
Right.
until you just as you spoke earlier in the other episode. How once you kind of got out there, you kind of had to restart over, refine yourself, and then find your way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like women aren't given the opportunity to make such logical decisions early on. You know what I mean? To navigate themselves. And what I mean, I'm talking in terms of like the house or just
being an overseer. Period.
Right.
I
or what's
feel
considered.
like I feel in some instances men feel challenged. They know you can run this better than they can. But as a form of, and I will say control, they tend to want to lead, and a lot of times a woman wants to be led, in the case where you're not trying to lead or follow, you're trying to walk hand in hand, you wake up and realize that, because for the most part, I'm the brains, and I just allowed you to do this because I felt like you were doing what was for the best for us as a whole, and I don't mind stepping back. But I am the brain, so, but as soon as you take advantage of that aspect and take that aspect for granted, then you lose it.
Right.
And so like you said, you may be a blue collar worker, right? But I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
So imagine what we could do with the blue collar aspect and utilizing it for the entrepreneurship and where we could be.
Right.
You could be self-employed right now.
Right.
In so many aspects, on so many levels. You can have multiple streams of income, but you know everything.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just a sweet little submissive lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play my part because this is what I was taught to do.
Right. And so
And as soon as I realize that I'm not wrong in my thinking, I'm gone.
right.
That's deep.
And see, those are the variables. You know what I mean? We talked kind of previously touched on another episode about that. It's recognizing what you have within your dynamic.
Right.
You know what I mean? That it's not just, some roles aren't just defined for male and some roles aren't just defined for female.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like me, myself, I'm a cooker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook up a meal, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So they say what you want to say,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
like cooking.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean?
And I'm a worker.
And
I like to go get it and go get the money.
You know
I
what I
got to
mean?
hustle. So it's like one of those.
And to each his own.
And to
Everybody
each-
has their
it's-
own
And I was
gifts.
just about to say that because in every situation it's circumstantial. Like even in your situation, you the brains, and he the person that's going to execute. He's the executor. But then they might have another situation where he's doing it all or she's doing it all, and then we kind of touched on it on another topic
But it
too.
seems that way, right? Because if you're not, a house divided against itself is designed to fail. If you can say, it seems as if I'm doing it all, or I'm doing it all, because we can't see what everybody else sees.
Right.
Everybody on the outside of us wish they had what we had.
Right.
Because you're so busy looking at them and how they do it and how this, but they wish they were us.
Yeah.
You don't even realize these people wish they were us. But we can't focus right here. We got the tunnel vision.
Dealing with, we talked about that on one of them too.
Yeah.
Dealing with the outside.
Yeah, because this is your world. Nobody has to know what's going on in your house.
Yeah.
You can be making all the money,
Yeah.
or she can be making all
Yeah.
the money. But if y'all both in cahoots with it and it's okay with y'all, it don't matter what y'all
What
doing
other people
on
think.
the
Yeah.
inside of your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
as soon as you get other people in your business and start looking, and not only that, start looking at other people and thinking, okay, this works for me and this works for them. Let's try and incorporate this and that. No, you messing up what you
Yeah.
got.
Right.
I done seen it.
Right. And to me, that rewinds back knowing at an early age and being instructed and drilled to learn what self-love is.
Yeah.
So then you know that I love myself. This is what I like to do. This is my space. This is, and you come together. You see how each other fit,
Yeah.
So wifey might be an entrepreneur and I'm a blue-collar worker. You know what I mean? And I'm cool with that. I just like to work on Saturdays, barbecue, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And baby, how can I support the vision?
Yeah.
You know what I
See,
mean?
and on the last episode when we had when we talked about this particular topic, they had a lot of ladies in the comments that were saying these men are weak for allowing women to do these things, So this is the dynamic.
Yeah.
This is the society that we live in, y'all.
I don't blame anybody for doing what they do
And this, yeah,
because you're allowing it.
yeah,
You're allowing it. If
Yeah.
you allow it, then hey, by all means, don't come tell me. Because once I tell you my answer the first time, after it is, I'm just wasting.
yeah,
I'm wasting my breath.
yeah.
If you're not going to do something about it, then I don't want to hear it. If you're not going to change your situation, because you don't have to be there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when you walk up to them, when they walk in that casket, it's going to be you.
Yeah.
Just you.
Yeah.
You're left with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, no, I don't understand. I can't accept excuses. If I got to hold myself accountable, everything is about momentum.
Yeah.
You have to gain momentum.
Yeah.
You have to be motivated. You have to have an idea, follow it through. Putting thought into action, that's how you get the job done.
Yeah.
But if you don't have no momentum, you're sitting around depressed, and then the company you keep and those people around you, they're not doing anything with themselves, it's not
It's
going to
weigh on you. It's gonna weigh on you.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no vision.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
Think about being stuck in your hometown doing the same thing that everybody else does. Okay, they got plant work. Okay, well, let's go work at the plant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go be a police officer.
Yeah.
Well, let's go do something. Let's
Yeah.
go travel. Let's go
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Let's go do these things, because
Yeah.
they don't consider that. They write the book, tell you about the white picket fence, and you get up to that point, and then they leave you to yourself.
Yeah.
Now you got to figure out what you're doing, and now you're trying to figure out how you're gonna raise these kids. You got them raised, and they have to go to college.
Yeah.
Because that's the rules.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
don't think to train them up in their gifts.
Yeah.
Because technically, at 20 years old or 18, when you graduate, you got your 20 years. You go to college 3 years or whatever if you don't have to. But if your family got a business, you got 20 years in that business, and then you can retire off of that. Okay, or if you do decide you want to work in the working world, you got 20 years, you can retire. You can use that money, utilize that to open your own business. You entrepreneur, but nobody's thinking about that because they only set the system up to do it this way.
Yeah. That's all they ever
They're
told
not
us growing
teaching
up.
about investing and what we're supposed to be doing to grow. So you can have self-love. So you can have some moments of self-love. Because while we over here talking about self-love, they laying on a yacht somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Making money.
Right. The system is,
Loving themselves.
That's right.
Loving.
right.
And trust me, I've seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's self-love is bigger than you. Self-love is realizing that those children that's coming up after you is the next best thing. So I need to apply this love, the self-love that
They
I
need to
have.
see it.
I need to put it and pour it inside of them. I need to allow them to know how great they are.
Yeah.
Because we need to make an impact.
Right.
What we got going.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to emphasize, I don't know if we talked about that earlier, that I can't remember. If I did, let me know. Do the little church hand up on me. But the journey itself, I know we kind of talked about light work, shadow work, and stuff like that. Most people don't realize it's ugly, y'all.
Yeah,
It's ugly. Growth is ugly.
Yeah.
Let's say I want to be a bodybuilder, right? I want to be yoked up. I'm slim right now, right?
Yeah.
That means I got to get in the gym every day.
Yeah.
Every day I'm going to be sore. I'm going to be hurting, thrive, but I need some Epsom salt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All these different things in that growth process. So the growth process is ugly. You know what I'm saying? People always see the aftermath, and then they, like you said, they want to live that life or they want to be there. You know what I mean? But they don't know the journey that it took to get there.
They want to go get the BBL.
It's not easy.
Right.
They want to get the instant.
Yeah.
They want to get the instant.
But that's temporary. That's instant, but it's temporary.
Well, no, and this no shade to my sisters that's
You
doing
gotta
it, but I'm
change
saying
your
these are
mind first.
Nah,
these are
shade.
instant.
Y'all get rid of them BBLs.
Yeah,
Excuse me, ladies.
Change it. I'm just saying on my end. On my end.
You got to change your mind
It's
first.
instant. They people want instant results. They don't want to work. They don't want to work for it. Like even with when we talked about the shadow work, they don't want to work for it. They see a person, they see their greatness, and they be jealous of these people. Sometimes people be jealous of, we talked about this off air. We talk about this all the time, how some people sometimes will be jealous of you, not necessarily for material things, but sometimes people be jealous of the way that other people love you, the way other people interact with you, the way that you can change the room.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm gonna say it like this: the guy that said ain't no shade, and she don't mean no shade.
Yeah.
But I'm finna talk to you like pimp, man.
Yeah, go on, pimp.
Hey, this ain't I be no one talking. This J No talking, man. You know what I mean? And if you don't like it, you can smell my cologne. You know what I mean? So but we gotta tell them though, for real, with this self love, like hey, y'all could be mad at me. I don't care.
Or me.
I don't care.
Or me.
You know what I mean?
I'll take it.
We need to get back to doing the work, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And having that mindset. We need to remove from this microwave society.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to self.
Yeah.
I get it. You find that balance. You may microwave with AI and other things like that, but don't microwave on self.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with the BBLs and all, and I'm not men too. They microwaving stuff too. They got the little built-on abs. They got latched on beards. One episode, somebody in the come asked me, was my beard real?
Yeah, he did.
You know what
He
I'm
did
saying?
ask that. That was so funny. That was so funny. Yeah, he asked
That was
it.
my beard, bro.
And then, did you see it? Because I asked him, I say, what's your next question? Who did yours? Like he's like, they did yours so good. I want to know who did it.
But that's also what. But really though, that's making. Because of this society, people are thinking automatically everybody got to be instancized or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They do that to me with my locks. I went to the gas station the other day, and the guy was like, "You put extensions in there?" And when us lockheads, we get offended when you say what?
Yeah.
But I be having to really catch myself, like, because everybody don't have, but I'm like, never. No, this don't do that, because this is a journey It's my journey. It's
right.
disrespectful to my journey. Don't
real.
Yeah, it's
Right,
real.
right.
Don't do.
So we gotta rewind back, y'all, on microwaving ourselves. We can't
Yeah.
microwave ourselves. So if you offended, it ain't my intent, honestly, to be offensive. But I'm just trying to be a truth teller right now and tell
Yeah.
you the truth. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'll speak what I feel is the truth.
Oh, what they say about them people toes? What we say about them people toes?
Man, fuck them people.
Fuck them people toes.
So
Look there.
you know, hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And you know what? I'd rather you be mad at me today, and I drop a seed on you, and that seed grow 10 days later or
Yeah.
a month later, you know what I'm saying, in your lifespan, and you may never come back to me and make a comment to me or make any type of suggestion.
Yeah.
And you know, ain't no rewards for this, ain't no trophies
Yeah.
for this. You
And
know what I'm
it
saying?
do cost you. It do cost you on the end of it too. When you do the microwave thing, you have the side effects that comes with it in the long run.
Right.
It costs you.
Right.
Right. Well, I will say this: it costs you. It's a waste of time, because if you don't have it up here mentally, you know, it's not going to stay. You're not going to be able
Yeah.
to keep it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
'cause soon as somebody come along, this guy comes along, he enjoys it, and he misuses you. Bam, you go right back to eating. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna grow back. But if you know that you done put in this work and you
gonna let it go like that.
Yeah, you shoot, baby, bye. You tell him you gonna drop him.
Yeah.
And them pounds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I may add to this, to me, going through these surgeries, honestly, is a lack of self-love.
You say you went through them surgeries.
No, I ain't went through no surgeries.
Because they got
Wait
men
a
that's
minute.
doing it.
Not a
They got
now
men.
nutter.
Don't edit that when y'all heard me say you went through them surgeries.
not a now nutter. You know what I mean? So,
But they got men that's doing it. They got
do,
men that's
they
getting
do.
tummy tucks.
And-
You do
and-
that?
Right.
Yeah.
And because
I
they, and
heard
it's-
a few months ago.
yeah, you know, and they got men BBL drizzy. I mean, they got people getting, you know, BBL, men getting BBLs too, you know. But and nose jobs, you know, all
Yeah.
that. But that's because we have this uniform look. Going back to a previous episode, we have
Yeah.
one uniform look that
No.
society wants to. Everybody wants to strive for, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that takes away from the individuality, and it takes away from the self-love, because we
Yeah.
all
Right.
have our differences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of bracing our differences, we like, oh, no, you're not fitting the mold.
Yeah.
You're not fitting the standard, like,
Yeah.
you know, and we pick each other apart for that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
And
what
if
I mean?
and if a person is gonna accept you, they're gonna accept you. Me personally, I never ever felt the need to be in competition with another woman. Like I always, and even growing, I just wasn't raised that way.
Right.
You know, we
Right.
come from the same cloth.
Right.
We wasn't raised to be in competition with our sisters. Like we never did that.
Yeah.
She was a lot older than a lot of us, but even when she would see us like bickering and stuff amongst each other, that was like one of the first things that was corrected. Like y'all not in competition. Like ladies, we don't do that. We don't compete with each other. We supposed to compliment each other. That's why I'm that way today. I see another beautiful woman and I say she's pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, she gorgeous. I might even say she fine. I might just say, girl, she fine,
That's
fine.
right.
Like I can do that. I can be in the presence of other beautiful women and not feel any
it
type of
feels
intimidation.
good.
And it
feels
does
so
feel good.
coming from a woman.
It does. It does feel good coming from a woman. And then you don't have to be worried about, oh, I gotta watch her. Oh, I
Yeah.
gotta watch her. Like I'm not this the type of anxiety that I'm not about to be. I'm not gonna have that type of anxiety to feel the need to have to constantly be in competition. That seems like a very miserable way to live to me.
Ain't no peace of mind in it.
And you know what? They can have all this done and still be unhappy.
That's crazy.
You know?
It's true.
And they'll see a beautiful natural woman walk in the room and get all some type of way.
Yeah.
Feel and the energy, the environment, you feel it in the environment.
Yeah, you can feel it.
You
You
know?
can feel it.
So that's why I said it starts here.
Yeah.
It starts in the
It
mind.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about that chick Bethany used to be getting into it with that you was telling me about?
Who?
Who? Oh. Nah, I'm just playing, y'all. There ain't nobody. I'm just playing.
So who?
I'm just joking, y'all.
Okay.
Wait a minute, Bethany.
Oh, Ebony. I'm talking Bethany. He's talking, what's her name? The rapper.
I was freestyling. I don't
Oh
know.
man,
I really was making up
I know. What's the lady name? The rapper from New York.
Ooh.
Yeah. What's her name?
They call her Heffany.
I call her Stephanie. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Ooh.
Oh yeah. M.A. Young
M.A. Young
Yeah,
M.A. Man, Young M.A. was hard.
How long she gonna be young? M.A. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you're right.
There you
Yeah.
go. So,
Well, you know that's what they doing though. They call each other Lil this,
everybody
Young
big
this,
now,
they
though.
did.
She might
But they be in like they 40s and 50s, and they still like Lil this and Lil that.
Yeah.
I almost said the name, bro. Let's get off. Let's move. Let's move on for y'all get me in trouble.
Okay.
So, but even speaking with so we was talking about kind of like I want to kind of go back to the stunting of the growth, and we touched on one aspect of stunting growth is when including other people and incorporate other people in their views and stuff in your journey. But what are some of the other things that can happen that can stunt the growth of someone on a spiritual journey to self-love?
I think honestly, just routine. Being constantly stuck in the same routine. Go to work, come in, feed the kid. You know what I'm saying?
That's insanity.
Right.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
That's
Doing
what
the
that's
same thing over
called.
and over. Right.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing, expecting different results.
It's different results, right? You know what I mean? And then going back to the awareness, some people not even aware that they need. Hey, bro, you need to just chill for a minute and just kind of just sit back and reflect a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think just doing that, or then in some cases, people might reflect, but they still, like you said, the insanity part, they still doing the same thing over and over. It still goes
And
back
happy
to that
about
routine.
it. Happy.
Right.
I'll say accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability is something that's stunting growth. You know, nobody wants to be accountable today.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
nobody wants to be accountable.
Right. I think that's
You know, they hit me deep.
Yes.
that's a major proponent in growth to me.
Yes.
That you mentioned that, because how can you grow if you're not recognizing self?
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
what accountability is for. Like
Yeah.
people, nobody wants to be in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Everybody
That's right.
feels, and I get it. Everybody feel a certain type of way when they're in the hot seat.
Yeah.
You know what I
Put
mean? The
me,
fingers in
put
front.
me there. I
Yeah,
need
that's
to
what
be
I'm about to say.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Put me there.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I'm going to take counsel, and right away, if it's not me, you're not going to make it stick.
Yeah.
I'm not going to believe something you tell me just because you said it.
Yeah.
You know, I have to know it of myself.
It might be from a partial
You know,
perspective. Yeah.
Right, because you might barely know me or dislike me or, got whatever issues with
Yeah.
me. You know, I think you always right.
Yeah.
And probably always wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take counsel. I'm going to take it to my team, run it across their ears. Now, first, it got to get by me.
Yeah.
If it's even worth a few thoughts more,
Yeah.
then that's different.
Yeah.
But I'm taking counsel. But before,
Not doing it. I would say acceptance.
yeah.
I would say acceptance stunts the growth because, not having acceptance,
Yeah.
because some of us, we don't want to accept the way that people are around us. We want to grab them and hold their hand and pull them, and sometimes that can stunt your growth. You gotta be able to accept people for just who they are, man. Just leave people, meet them where they at, and be okay with it.
Yeah. That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
be okay with it.
That is true.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Listen. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you said being stagnant.
Yeah, stagnation equals death.
You said being accountable, and then there's acceptance. Those are three main components.
And
Three
you're
piece.
going to
I
add
like
one,
that.
Momentum.
We throw that in there because
Definitely.
you have to have drive.
Yeah.
You have to have ambition. You got to
Yeah.
go. You have to want it.
Yeah. And even working through those moments where you run out of gas. Man,
Yeah.
when you feel like you then ran out of gas, like you didn't just man, I don't have no more today. I just don't have it. I don't have it today. Coming out of that, fighting, that's it's literally like running through water.
And how often do you get to have those days? Not very often. You know, the universe will give you maybe one of those days every quarter.
Yeah.
You know, depending on your life, because you're doing so much, and then you get this one day to breathe,
Yeah.
and then the cycle turns back up
Yeah.
because it's grooming you. It wants you up the ladder.
Yeah.
Keep climbing.
Yeah.
Keep climbing.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So, if we all clear here, like we say in our brotherhood, if our hearts are clear,
Yeah.
I know you have a book out.
Yes.
We'd love to hear about your book, before,
Okay, it's called A World Apart, and it's about accepting the spiritual, living in the spirit instead of empirical and material values, living for spirit. And, I'm going to do this little thing with y'all right now. Just take one deep breath. and exhale. Focusing on that right there. That's what got me here. That's the book. This is what this book is about. It's about that breath, because technically I shouldn't even be here. And I rewrote my life. There was a life written for me, and I was able to rewrite it. I picked up the pen, and I redid it, because, it was set. This is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to rewrite it. And once I started to write it, it started to come to life. And it has a lot to do with the light and the dark and, being married to somebody and not really knowing who you're married to.
Right.
And, COVID showed us a lot of things. COVID woke us up and, what do you do then?
Yeah.
Do you say to life, I'm just going to pretend like I don't see this no more?
Yeah.
You can have a boogeyman in the closet and you're going to pretend like you don't see him.
Yeah.
And you know who you are. And life is calling you up higher. Life says, hey, you have a destiny. I have a plan for you. And you are responsible for reaching out to others.
Right.
You are a world changer.
Right.
So why are you sitting on your hands?
Yeah.
And basically I was able to raise my children, get my children to, to their age, the age of manhood. And life was handed back to me, and it felt like I was graduating from high school all over again.
Yeah.
And life was coming at me in so many angles. And I tell you, like everybody that ever loved me, came back. And I had wrote these things down, and it was all happening, and businesses and all this, and now it's all happening.
Yeah.
And traveling and living and waking up one day and realize that life is greater than myself, and I got to help other people.
Right.
So that's what the book is about. It's a fact and fiction based, and it's scriptural. So if you can get past, it's an analogy of from the beginning. It comes from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not sure if you said the name or not. I don't know if I caught the name. What was the name of the book?
A World Apart.
A World Apart. Okay.
Yes. A World Apart. So it's like, because we're all looking for God.
Right.
Everybody looking for God, and so many people, and everybody waiting on Jesus to come back. And they don't know what's going to happen. They just can't wait. They're so hurt right now. They're waiting on Jesus to come save them.
Yeah.
And then this book will help you. This is like me meeting Christ. Me meeting the Christ sense, the Christ awareness, the Christ consciousness.
Christ consciousness. Right.
Realizing that I have to play a part in this.
Yeah.
I play a major role in my life.
Yeah.
When at first I was docile.
Yeah.
I was a hidden jewel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I realized that I had to write this book, and it's almost like it's not me.
Yeah.
It's like something else is,
I read some of it. It's
working through me, and I was supposed to already be done with it, but it became Shakespearean a little bit, and I had to go back and do like a little poetic, add this poetic flair to it, because like I said, you can come here to be an idol, or you can come here to be a legend.
Yeah.
So do I want to be Pac? Do I want to be Eminem? Do I want to be Malcolm? Do I want to be Martin? Do I want to be Sojourner Truth? Yeah. So these are. Do I want to be Maya? Do I want to be historical?
Yeah.
So because I could have wrote it, and over time as I began to write, it was like Ebonics, and it sounded like where I came from. I was this broken English, and I'm reading it to myself, and I'm like, ha ha ha, this is so funny, but I sound so ignorant.
Yeah.
And so over years, I started to play with the etymology of words, and I began to eat. I love words.
Yeah.
And they just, started to consume me, and it just, they grew.
Yeah.
And they came to life.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. So like scripture is, so my book is like my scripture, because everybody has a book in us. This is my testament.
Yeah.
So it's basically a world apart, a New Testament. So this is my testament. This is how I got here. So this is the demons that I've had to fight, and I mean physically and spiritually.
Yeah.
You know, the things that people don't speak about. You know, having eyes to see and ears to hear, and the knowledge and wisdom to understand.
Yeah.
And before I did this, because I knew life wanted me to teach, so I said, you have to teach me what to teach.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go ignorant. And so reading to myself, reading my words to myself, you know, this is something that's worthy of north, south, east, and west, not just, you know, in a library somewhere on a shelf somewhere, and only the people around me can relate to. This is going to change the world. It's going to help the world as a whole.
Yeah.
Right. So, is the book, has it been released yet, or
not yet?
Still working on the release?
Not yet.
Date?
Still
Okay.
working on it. You know, last phases, but yeah, it's coming soon, and hopefully by the end of this year.
Okay.
This is my promise to myself, because, like I say, momentum. You know, momentum, and I'll say, like, because you said to me the other day that you wanted to be. I asked you what you wanted to do, and you said you wanted to read. And so when I left in 2020, when I left my marriage, left my home, so I said, Lord, all I want to do is read and write. You know, because I have books. I mean, I got a library, extensive. I mean, all kinds of books. And books that people have never seen before, they've never heard of before. And so I said, all I want to do is read and write. So I have this chance, and I get out there, and life catches me, and the universe provides this opportunity for me. But I made the mistake of not living, because I didn't live. I gave my life, you know.
Yeah.
While I was at home, I wanted to live a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and so while I was living, it was fun, but I was being distracted.
Yeah.
So at the same sense, I've enjoyed myself, but it was a minor setback,
Yeah.
but it's for a major comeback.
Yeah.
So it's the momentum.
Yeah.
So every day I tend to get up and do something.
Yeah.
Pick it up. I'm going. I'm
Yeah.
going. I'm going.
Yeah.
And things just come, just flow, just flow. It's like life is talking to you, speaking to me on so many levels, things that I have to share. And it's so amazing, because it's gonna make people want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, because if you can get past the theology of it, you
Yeah.
know, the preface and all of that first part, the introduction, you can get past the theology of it. There's a story there.
Yeah.
So, and it somebody's gonna see themselves.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
So-
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
is there, you know, maybe your social media links people can look you up, find your information, you know, so they can look more into you and follow your story? and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yes,
that?
yes. So, of course, was it Forel, Sojourner Forel, YouTube? I mean, I'm not ready for YouTube yet,
Yeah.
y'all, as my ministry, but Facebook and Instagram. So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Sojourner Forel. So
That was the
yeah.
spelling.
Yeah. SOJOURNERFOERL. So
All right.
Yeah.
Most definitely. We'll make
All
sure
right. Well, thank you for being a part of our show. It was an honor to have you
Thanks for having
here
me.
for 2 episodes.
2 episodes.
thanks.
Right.
I hope I did okay, guys.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Did fine.
Awesome. Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate you and sharing
Yeah.
your knowledge and your wisdom. Like, it was a
Absolutely.
blessing.
Absolutely.
So let's bring us to the disconnect and all this.
So I would say the disconnect with when it comes down to self-love is just understanding your journey, understanding your mission, understanding what fits for you, because life is not a one size fit all. Okay, you got to find what's your fit. Your life should be custom made for you.
Right.
Right.
That's the disconnect
Right.
for me.
And I believe that we're just taking what's given. You know what I mean? We're not asking any questions.
Right.
We just go, not we, I don't, but society. We
Right.
just go with the flow.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like in order to get to that phase of self-love and self-care, or just self-love, is to ask the questions why.
Right.
Keep asking why.
Right.
Don't stop asking why.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't
That's
ever
where it
stop.
start.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, why this, why that, why,
Right.
why,
Right.
until those answers get solved.
Absolutely.
Question religion, question it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z said.
Yeah.
I know, you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
In the line, but
And he
but-
probably said something somebody else said. That's a whole other story. But anyway,
But yeah, you got to keep asking yourself them questions, you
Absolutely.
know, and then start asking your bloodline them questions too.
yeah.
Start asking
Yeah.
your mama, start if they're around, start asking your daddy. You know,
Yeah.
if you can find insight about your grandparents,
Yeah.
you know, because that'll take you along your path for, you know, you know what I'm saying, understanding why you starting to respond the way, why you act
Yeah,
the way you act. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Why you think how you think.
Yeah.
You know, was this drilled into me?
Yeah.
Or is this just part of me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
Am I being a what's that? Of a society product of my society?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or,
Yeah.
or is this just me?
Yeah.
And
You know?
I'd like to say slow down, slow down and take some time for self-reflection, because if not, you'll be going nowhere fast.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's the disconnect.
That's the disconnect, y'all.
So, yes, indeed. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. At,
Make sure y'all tap in.
yes, on
Yes.
TikTok,
Absolutely.
Facebook at the Disconnect Podcast, IG, YouTube at the Disconnect Podcast _.
And remember,
we are
the podcast that heals and builds.
Peace.
Peace.
I have learned to piece together pieces that you broke. I can see through all of the deceitful things you wrote. I have managed cracking all the secrets to the codes. You swerved into my lane like you were sleeping on the road. Said we weren't indigenous and brought us here as slaves. Wrote yourself in her story and tore us out the page. Trying to cover up that you're the one that's out of place. Then wonder why my people wildin' out and in the rage. Bitch, you lied. We've been certified. My ancestors own this shit. I know that hurt your pride. I'm witnessing truth and lies unfold before my eyes. Present in the flesh, oh what a time to be alive. Understand that white folks not our only enemies. We got those against us that still look like you and me. Just because you talk that talk don't mean you're fooling me. Cause I don't need a savior long as I stay true to me.